Hello everybody, welcome to Austin Rusty Buckets. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 100K on this channel by the end of the year, so your subscription would be much appreciated. So, I am super duper worried about Zach Lavine and how he has been performing so far this season, as well as this being kind of a continuation of some struggles that he had last year. So if you were not aware, the Chicago Bulls are playing below 500 basketball, and they're 9-12 right now, last I checked. And Zach Lavine was just given a max contract this offseason where he's going to be making over $35 million a year for the next 5 seasons, including this one. And with him making that much money, there becomes the expectation, of course, that you're actually going to perform at the level of the contract that you were given. Well, that has not been the case so far this year, and frankly, I am concerned that the problems that Zach Lavine has displayed this season are really not going to go anywhere. So first things first, just to make this as simple as possible, let's first just take a look at where Zach Lavine is at statistically this year versus last year. Right now, he is averaging at 21 points per game, his same usual rebound, assists, turnover, steal numbers. In fact, his turnovers are actually the lowest they've been since being in Chicago, so there's a positive spin, I guess. But he is shooting 35% from 3 on 8 attempts, 41% from the field overall, and he has a true shooting percentage of 53%, down from 60.5% last year and 63.5% the year prior. And he is putting up, again, that was 21 points a game, down from 24 last year and down from 27 the year prior. So where this all kind of started is last season, Zach started off the season really scorching, and everybody was talking about the way that DeMar DeRozan was playing, but was great about how good the Bulls started the season off early on. Is Zach was like pretty much right there with him, putting up like 24 a game. And he was doing so on some impeccable efficiency, shooting over 40% from 3 on over 8 attempts per game. And as the season progressed, he dealt with injuries, and his numbers slowly started to decline. And that's kind of been the same case with him this year, where it seems as though injuries have caused him to not be quite the Zach Lavine that we knew. Now, I do want to make it clear out of the gate that it's not entirely a full excuse for Zach Lavine, the injury thing, because as athletic as Zach Lavine is, I feel like it is very often overblown how much that athleticism actually contributes to his game and how he is effective. Like, he's not a player that particularly relies on his athleticism, even if he has it as an option. And I would even argue, to some extent, it's a little disappointing how little he utilizes his athleticism to benefit his game. The one area where it definitely did benefit in the past was with the slashing aspect of the game, but as time has gone on, he has more and more become a jump shooter. And he has historically been a pretty damn good jump shooter, especially in Chicago, and he was a great three-point shooter his last year in Minnesota, but it has not really been good enough to carry the fact that he has started to just not drive to the rim to the extent that he used to. Hell, even if we're going to compare to his first 2 years in Chicago, not including the 17 games he played after coming back from an ACL injury, 40% of his shots were from 0 to 3 feet, and then 37% of his shots were from 0 to 3 feet. At this point this season, he is down to 24%, and last year he was down to 26% from 31. So it's been a gradual decline, and at this point it's just becoming more and more and more jump shot reliant, whether it be from mid-range or from 3. It's really the only way that the guy is getting his offense. And the thing where injuries do become a factor is in that he has had inconsistent opportunity, inconsistent team situation. It's just inconsistent is the key word there, because he is in and out of games, which is not good for being able to develop said consistency. And because of him being in and out, not only is he not getting games as regularly as he should be, but that also means that the Chicago Bulls are very regularly playing without him. And when they're playing without him, they're developing a system that accounts for the fact that they don't have a 25 point per game score that they normally would. Although, again, he has not been that this year. So, as a result, there's almost these two different teams. This is what often happens with players who are injury prone. It becomes, here's what this team looks like when they have Zach, and here's what it looks like when they don't. And the injury prone thing is actually a label that I think Zach is fully deserving of and hasn't gotten at this point, frankly, because I just don't think people pay that much attention. But yeah, Zach is not what he used to be. He's taking 15% less shots at the basket than he was 2 years ago. He's become more jump shot reliant and more inconsistent with those jump shots. Again, I said he's at around 35% from three. He's been around 38 to 40 years prior. So jump shots are down. His drives are down. And when you add on to the fact that he has the issues that he does defensively, which I'd like to think improved a little bit last year, but frankly, ever since the Bulls started slipping defensively, he started slipping as well along with them. And him also having the decision-making issues that he has always had. You add on inconsistent jump shooting with bad shot selection, and it just further exemplifies Zach Lavine really not bringing positive things to the table for his team. Like, just to put into perspective how bad this has gotten, like, when the Bulls play without Zach Lavine, I don't really factor that in. Like, if the Bulls lose, I'm not like, well, if we had Zach, because frankly, I don't think he moves the needle in terms of the team's success that dramatically one way or the other. And if anything, he very often is the detriment of the team. There's been games this year where Zach took a dumb shot at the wrong time, and that was exactly why we lost the game. It's an issue he's always had. But now you add on to it that he's not giving you an efficient 25 before that bad shot, and it really makes you start to question how much value the guy has. And that's not a question. I shouldn't have to say this, but it's kind of obvious. It is kind of obvious, but I'll say it anyways. You don't want to be asking the question of the guy you just gave a 5-year max to, does this guy help you win? And because of that, because of a variety of issues with the Bulls, and I'm going to be talking about this in a bigger main channel video at some point, but because of Zach's struggles, because of the team struggles as a whole, because of the health issues that have persisted with this team, frankly, I think it's in the best interest of everybody to just blow this shit up. And I don't think that Zach Lavine is going to be spending the rest of his career in Chicago for sure. In fact, I would be surprised if 3 years from now he was still in a Bulls uniform. I can always leave it open-ended to the possibility that maybe he finally goes maybe he gets a 40-game stretch of no injuries. But that's really what it's going to take for him to probably be on the upswing again. And that's still not going to change the fact that he's just been way more timid about getting to the basket. And you can argue some of that's a little bit of the team's scheme and the fact that there's now another elite slasher on the team, and that's put Zach in more of the position as an off-ball player. But one way or the other, Zach Lavine is not the Zach Lavine that I knew him to be, and I'm a little worried about this contract going forward. Frankly, they should probably move him before it gets perceived as a bad contract, because I do think that is entirely in the cards. But yeah, there's me being negative about the Chicago Bulls again. What else is new? Anyways, that is it. Goodbye.